This video is brought to you by Vite Ramen. Well, folks, maybe I was a bit preemptive with my optimism for streaming services when it came to animation. For those who have watched my videos in the past, especially these past few years, I have sung the praises of Netflix and HBO Max and Disney and all these streaming services dumping money into animation and taking leaps of faith on shows and movies that never would have been seen on cable. And I really thought, this is it. This is the next creative-driven era for animation because of the streaming wars, because they need to be competitive. And God, was I wrong? Yeah, at this point, I feel like I was, because all these streaming services are reeling it back in. They're backpedaling so hard. It was Netflix at first, where they're like, we're slashing the animation department. We're cutting back big time. We want to make things like the Boss Baby show, which sucks because the guy who makes the Boss Baby show is like, what are you talking about? I'm just doing my thing over here. Keep doing yours. And that just was a stab to the heart where it's like, what's happening? Who's in charge at Netflix? And where are you about to take animation? Because you've done a great job so far. What's about to happen? And then, as of late, the one really making headlines, and the one I did not suspect to go down this path, HBO Max. HBO Max, the streaming service, I like a lot. Or I liked a lot. I had a good cross-section of live action, animation, get to watch some of my favorite shows. It was a great place for Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. Hell, even got some Ghibli films up on there. But like, to me, it's like, this is the legacy of Warner Media and Cartoon Network. And here's the thing also. Big, larger-than-life companies at work here, and they just do their thing. They're so massive that it's like, okay, who's buying what now? What's this? Discovery's doing a merger with Warner Media, and I guess Discovery's a lot larger of a company than I ever expected. I'm like, I thought Discovery was like dead. I'll be real. Discovery Channel? And I know they have a lot of TV shows that they own, but I was surprised to be like, wait, Discovery's the larger contender here? What the hell? So yes, there's frustration, there's confusion. We don't know what's happening because all of these shows that were on HBO Max are being dropped. Because it started off with the holiday Scoob movie that was being made, that was almost completed, and HBO Max was like, we're dropping it. Also Batgirl, also a bunch of other things. This confusion being like, but you're almost done. Why drop it? And out came the theories of, is it tax harvesting? Are they trying to reel back on the operating cost? What's happening? There's a fog of war. And at first, seeing like the Scoob film, I'm like, that sucks. Maybe it's just a one-time thing. Boy, was I wrong. A bunch of other shows were dropped. And here's the confusing thing. Shows that have already been made, that I considered legacy shows for Warner Media. Like, why would you get rid of Uncle Grandpa? It's completed. What do you gain from that? Poor Mau Mau will never get season 2. What did it do wrong? And Infinity Train? I don't know what, it walked under like 17 like ladders and stepped on 17 cracks, and I'm using the number 17 for some reason, but I've never seen a show get raked across the coals as hard as Infinity Train. It's like, what did you do wrong? Karma itself is like, screw you in particular. We're wiping you from our social media. We're taking you off of YouTube. We're moving the show off of HBO Max, and you'll never get your final season. What the hell happened? What does Warner Media, what does Discovery, what do they gain from removing things that they already own? OKKO? Great show. Why get rid of it? Is it licensing? Are you selling it? Folks say tax harvesting. Apparently that's not true. Owen Dennis, the creator of Infinity Train, had a very enlightening newsletter. And he was talking about how like tax harvesting, that's not it. Said that when it came to the removal of these shows, that a lot of these show creators and artists involved at Cartoon Network, HBO Max, were given a heads up. But it happened like, it was like, okay, it'll happen in a week. Surprise, it happened like the next day. And they're just standing there dumbfounded, being like, why is this happening? For what reasons? Where's it going? What's happening to my residuals? Am I getting paid? Am I fired? What's up and what's down? And for Discovery, there's a guy named David Zaslav, who's like the new CEO, who's in charge. And his entire thing is like, I'm going to lower our debt. Apparently, HBO Media, Warner Media, and Discovery, they all have a lot of debt. And he's about slashing the budget to cut back. So, you know, here's the thing. I can understand trying to lower cost as a company, but my God, is animation getting it the hardest. And it breaks my heart because again, I saw these streaming services as the next horizon for the exploration of quality, of creativity, of quantity of animation. And boy, is it being is a hard flat line of like, beep, we're done. Close Enough had its recent season and now it's been canceled. That breaks my heart. I loved Close Enough. They're like, little Ellen's gone. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It just goes to show how these companies, the folks in charge, these out-of-touch executives saw animation and said, you're the first to go because you're the most expensive, most likely. And also not most expensive, but they definitely carry that stigma where they say, well, of course we're gonna keep working on the broader spectrum shows like Game of Thrones, because that's live action. That's what adults watch, not cartoons. Cartoons, that's a niche demographic and for kids too, so let's cut it back. And it's like, okay, here we are again. A tale as old as time, animation being treated like it's a second-class citizen in the realm of entertainment. And that just makes me so sad. First, with Netflix, now with HBO Max, and does not help with the confusion and the frustration and leaving these artists out in the cold. They already have it hard enough. I don't work in the entertainment industry. I watch as a bystander, and to see these artists get just dragged through the mud, where it's like your creation belongs to us, your residuals canceled, your health insurance gone, you're on your own because you're disposable. The system is screwed. There was an entire trend with like a new deal for animation to give these artists and folks who are involved in the production of these shows and movies a safety net, because the safety net doesn't exist for most of these folks. You just fall off the tight wire and you hit the ground and die, and that sucks. And again, to see it, because I'm a viewer, and then to see the show creators being like, we're just as clueless as you are, we don't know what's happening, that's heartbreaking. And it makes me so resentful of these streaming services and makes me realize, oh, digital media, here I thought that streaming services could provide a guarantee our content's not going anywhere. It's there to watch. Oops, just kidding, it's gone. It might be on Hulu to stream, or you can buy it on Amazon Prime, maybe, in the right location, or, oh, there's no hard copy or versions to buy at all. There's no physical versions to buy. You're just screwed. And it's like, okay, cool, then I guess I'll pirate then. So, well done, HBO Max and Netflix and all these other streaming services who are so out of touch of providing people an alternative. And here's another thing, not everyone can stream. There's a lot of people who don't know how, or they're kids, and they just have no access at all because you denied it from them. I understand, it's a business, which I hate. It sucks that art is brought to heel because of business. You can't exist unless we own your property. It belongs to us. You're a means to an end. You're disposable. We have free reign to do whatever we want because we own you. That sucks, especially for artists. I'm not even an artist myself, yet it just rips my soul out to see them get their souls ripped out because they have so much more to lose. God, I'm just ranting. I had like a script and everything. I'm just pissed that these artists are not getting their money. They're not getting health insurance. They're not getting any kind of coverage from the sounds of it. And it's just another stab in the back to animation as a medium where it's just seen as disposable. It's unacceptable. And I wish someday that animation could truly be seen as not for children, as not a lower form of content, but it's like seen as the beautiful art form that it truly is, and that it can do things that live action can never even attain. I'm watching Primal on HBO Max, and I know that Primal was on Adult Swim, and I highly recommend it. If the story for season 2 isn't completed, and season 3 would wrap things up, and season 3 gets canceled, I will lose it. Because at that point, it's like crystal clear. It's not about the art. It never was. And to think so, I feel foolish. I feel so stupid. But it's always been about the money. And to have Game of Thrones prequel premiere, 10 million views? It actually like crashed some of the servers, being the highest performer premiere on HBO Max. It makes me feel like bitter because, and no shade to the Game of Thrones show itself, but like, wow, that cements it. They're like, you see, we are doing just fine. We're getting views with our live action show. It has broader appeal. More folks are watching, but the animation, dump it. We're gonna aim for a lower quality, make it cheaper, and just for kids. And it's to taint the legacy of Looney Tunes and Warner, to taint the legacy of Cartoon Network. And I'm told that the executives of Cartoon Network and Warner are fighting like hell to preserve their legacy, their content. And it's an uphill battle. Because there's this entire fog of war where these folks in charge of the streaming services at the top of the executive pyramid have full control and there's no transparency. They can throttle information and be like, I guess you don't know. You don't know what's happening. You have no clue where your show is going. It might not even come back at all. It might exist for a few months. It's gone. Bye. And there's no recourse. It's for pirating. So well done, well done, David. You're really doing a great job. It's wild to me that Netflix, they had no catalog. They had to go hard and take some leaps of faith. And even they, of course, have screwed up. Like apparently with Cuphead, that was not 2 seasons. There was one, here's a block of content. And Netflix is like, well, we don't want to pay you for 2 seasons, so we're going to just cut it in half and say it's 2 seasons. And it's like, it shouldn't work that way. You should actually pay for 2 seasons because that way the artists actually get paid more because they're working on 2 goddamn seasons and not just 1. But lo and behold, these streaming services, these companies have full reign to do what they want because it's all smoke and mirrors. You don't even know what's happening until it has happened. Are they trying to low operating cost? Okay, I can at least understand the logic there. Tax harvesting? Oh, okay, stab me in the heart again. But dodging residuals and trying to rip that away, payments due to artists and animators and all these folks involved in the production? No, royally, sincerely, to all these companies, fuck you. That's unacceptable. That's not how you treat people. And that's how you taint your legacy. And whenever you do want to get back into animation, you're gonna be carrying that taint on you, that bad reputation, and you deserve it. Paramount Plus is just, fielding SpongeBob after SpongeBob. Netflix is like a big old shrug. I don't know what's about to happen. Who can say? What's the precedent there? I think they're reeling things back. Are we still gonna get anything good moving forward? And then for HBO Max, I'm just completely crestfallen. I don't know what to make of it. And then, oddly enough, Disney Plus is the one who's like, well, we're Disney. Animation is kind of important to us in our brand, period. But we also never really took massive leaps of faith. So because it didn't feel as much, they haven't lost as much. So it's kind of a bit more in their control. But out of all the streaming services, I have the most confidence in Disney, but that's not saying much. So all in all, my hope for this creative-driven era is going through some pretty heavy pessimism. I'm not losing hope because I feel that animation is still a very powerful medium and that with these new viewers coming in, I feel like the millennials and zoomers enjoy animation more than boomers. And hopefully with that generational change, the stigma of animation will shift with it to actually see animation not as for kids, but as a wonderful medium that is just full of potential. And as far as being able to contribute and help, follow the artists and animators on Twitter, the social media, support them. I know some of them have third-party websites where you can actually donate to them. As far as independent animation goes, it's that's awesome, but it's exceptionally hard to pull off. Folks were pointing to Hell of a Boss, and it's that's amazing if you can achieve it, but that's so hard to do. So it's this necessary evil with companies being we have the money if you want to make the art. Just sign your soul away and we have full control and you have no recourse. And it's oh, great, what a wonderful system. This is definitely built for longevity and trust. So, yep, we'll see what happens next. I still feel like animation is being raked across the coals here. Hopefully we'll come out of it. Hopefully these executives wake up. Maybe if there's enough financial whiplash and then they realize, oh yeah, we're making some mistakes here, they'll come back to the table and make things right and hold a standard that needs to be established for treating these people as fucking people and not treating them as disposable. But maybe I'm the idiot to have any hope for that at all, which just makes me so devastated. So to all the folks who are involved in this industry, I wish you the best. Hopefully we as supporters and viewers, let us know what we can do. Like I said, go to their Twitter, go to their YouTube, support them. Maybe with enough people, we can push back and change things. So that's all I got to say, guys. Let's hold our breath and see what happens next. Oh yeah, props to Uncle Grandpa. They removed the entire series. You even have the guy who made Uncle Grandpa retweet or repost some art of somebody who drew Uncle Grandpa with a gun in his mouth? Yeah, how about that? Summer Camp Island with Julia Pott. She talked about how her entire show got scrapped after all this work, that the episodes were dump them, we don't need them. And it's god damn, that's so awful. But for Uncle Grandpa, they removed it from the streaming service and there was one episode on HBO Max that remained. It's gone now, but it's Uncle Grandpa, last survivor. He survived past the snap, but yeah, I digress. Support the artist. Let's see if we can turn things around. I want to give a shout out to this video sponsor, Vite Ramen. It's not often I get to have a sponsor who sends me anime stickers in the package. That was a surprise. I opened the box and I'm oh, this ramen looks great. Hold on. Squishing through the box here, moving the stuff out of the way. Anime girl stickers? Yes? I'm just so easy to please, to be honest. But these are such cute character designs. I love it. Talk about branding. I'm all about this. All right, sorry, I'm geeking out. I love ramen. It's delicious. Also not that good for you. Let's be honest. Cup ramen, the cheap stuff, not really doing yourself any nutritional favors with that one. But Vite Ramen is all about actually providing some nutrients with your meal. 23 grams of protein. that's a lot. Because like, I don't want to give up ramen. It's a good cornerstone food where you can just throw it in the pot, boil it up, put it in your bowl, put some seasoning in there, and top it off. Like chicken, lettuce, a boiled egg. I throw the egg into the pot because like I'm cool like that. Delicious. And with Vite, I can actually have a clear conscience knowing I'm getting better nutrients. I just can't get over the stickers. Look at them, they're so cute. I like the sporty one with the midriff. Okay, I'm gonna keep it down. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put them in my wallet. And props to the company. I was reading about them. They're about putting people before profit. The ramen is made here in the US of A. And it's nice to see a company who's like, yeah, we don't want to work our people to death. We want to make sure they have living wages, that they can go home and take care of themselves, that we're here for the people and not the profit. I like that. I'm one of those folks where I want to be able to support companies that make good products and take care of their employees, which Vite Ramen absolutely does. Also, their CEO, when I opened up the talking points, the first thing I saw was this guy wearing like a Catgirl outfit with a watermelon between his thighs. And I'm like, okay, I like what I'm seeing here. You know what? He's pretty cute too. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place with this. So I like the company. They got a good thing going with taking care of their people, making a great product, and the ramen itself with the different flavors, the individual packs. They're also the multi-packs where you can just grab a block and throw it in the pot and then season it yourself. I mean, I do soy sauce afterwards. I do hot sauce. I think ramen's great for also like decorating. I mean, what a hot take that is. But overall, I do love Vite Ramen. This is one of those sponsors where I'm like, when we're done doing the spot, I'm gonna keep buying the product because it's that good. And it's from good people. So click the link in the description down below to get a bundle that gives you free gifts and free shipping in the contiguous US of A. And don't forget to use my code Saberspark at checkout for an additional 10% off. That's viteramen.com/Saberspark. Or click the link down below and use the code Saberspark. Go check them out.